Hello and welcome to Swamp Chats post game. I'm one of your two co-hosts, Kai Chen Chisholm. Joining me, as always, is Manny, the producer of all producers, and of course, huge Gator fan here at Five Reasons Sports. Thankfully, we're coming off of a very good and happy Saturday. Um, couldn't get it done Saturday. We tried getting it out yesterday. I had some stuff to do, and then we just decided, you know what, it's okay. We'll get it done tonight. So here we are, able to talk some Gators and just Manny, able to talk some Gators in just the greatest way possible, honestly.
No, of course. I mean, listen, I'm not in town. Obviously, I'm out of town. So my whole trip has always been key off of what Saturday's results was going to be. I was a little nervous here and there, but the more that the day came about, I mean, listen, we had the election going on. We had so many other things other than sports to actually focus on. But in order to see what transpired, especially after being down 14 points, man, I couldn't have asked for anything better than what we saw on Saturday night overall.
Yeah, it wasn't the start that I think Gators fans wanted to have, but at the end of the day, I think we'll take the final result over the start of the game. Of course, there's some things that you have to figure out, and there's some things that you want to get nailed down. But to get this win and to feel the victory of beating Georgia, I mean that's one of the things. You have to beat Georgia, and to beat them in the way and the fashion that you did. It's just awesome. It's an awesome feeling. What were some of the keys, I guess, that you came away with besides, I guess we can eliminate Kyle Trask from the equation?
Well, I mean, listen, first of all, when the defense played well on third down, they were well overall 2 of 13. Listen, and I know that most Georgia fans will say, well, we didn't have a quarterback. Well, gee whiz, buddy. Last year we had a starting quarterback that went out, and then all of a sudden Kyle Trask had to come in, especially against Kentucky. And what was it, like 2 or 3 weeks later, where he's facing against Georgia, which is it's always like a top defense no matter what in all of the nation. So right. I don't want to hear that point or whatnot. The whole point is that the defense, after giving up 14 points, they locked it down no matter who was at quarterback. And I truly feel that either Todd Grantham has these guys doing something different or these boys are showing up, man. Huge kudos to Cox, who was playing his former school. Man, showed up every single time, was in the backfield. The secondary itself, listen, if they missed anybody out there, they made it up with a pass deflection or with a big hit. I thought, listen, they prepared well for the game. Listen, and again, anybody that first saw the first 5 minutes, 14-0, it's like, geez, not this crap. I mean, out of all
another go, right? Like another loss.
Out of all things to happen, you're now down 14-0. That's Bennett. Like, get the heck out of here with this. No freaking possible way. And then everything just settles into place, man. But I think the defense set the tone. And listen, that hit on Bennett, man, I think that was the key thing. Even though it led to a touchdown, it told Georgia, listen, we're here, man. We're going to knock you in the mouth. And, that was one play that, like I said, it led to a touchdown. But I think that was a major key reverse that hyped up the offense heading back out there onto the field. And what a magnificent performance by Kyle Trask. I mean, the night before we saw Denard King with the Canes put the team on his shoulders, led him to victory. And on Saturday, we saw Kyle Trask do the exact same thing, man. His passes, his pocket awareness was just unfreaking believable. Grimes showed up. I mean, I'm proud of. Listen,
what a huge catch. That was an outstanding catch.
There might have been more plays that he could have made out there on the field, but listen, he made the plays when he needed to. And overall, great play by the running backs. Listen, that whole running back layout pass out there that had Georgia just going nuts over, right? Because they wanted to play man-to-man. They wanted to play cover 2. They wanted to cover Pitts. But you knew that the running backs coming out of the backfield had to have a huge game plan in this offense to actually spread it out and to make Kyle Trask have more time in the pocket. And I thought those swing passes to Wright, to Malik Davis, and even to Pierce, I think, right before the half, I think those are huge plays that open it up even more for the offense in the second half. Can't say much about the second half, unfortunately. I know that a Steve Spurrier offense would have gone out there, probably scored another 24 points.
I mean, we were getting out there, and once it was 41, I can't remember what the score was, but it was 41 to something, and I know multiple different Gator outlets were talking about the last time that we scored 50, that they're going to put a 50 burger on them. I think we got an interception or some sort of turnover at that point, and then we went out and only got the field goal, which...
Yeah, that was off of Elam's interception, I think on third down as well, which helped.
And, it sucks that you don't hit 50, but at the same time, I think you show to not only Georgia but the rest of the SEC and the rest of the, I guess, the rest of the entire college football landscape that you had a horrible loss to Texas A&M. It was something that you weren't expecting. It was something that should have never happened. You probably drop lower, honestly, with a close win in that one than you do with the loss because they did drop, but they didn't drop that much. A close win, maybe you drop a little more just because the AP college poll is always all over the place. But you get that win or you get that loss, then you come out and you beat Georgia, and especially after everything that happened previously, getting out and beating Georgia and beating them in the fashion you did is just perfect. I,
No,
I, I
and
think
it's
I could have asked for
also
nothing less.
no, and then you're also very happy for Dan Mullen, man, because this is one of the reasons why he was brought here, right? Is to win games like this. Being 0-2, I'm pretty sure didn't have a great taste for him, not for his staff as well, man. But to go out there again, like I said it once again, being down 14-0 and seeing Kirby Smart jumping up and down, and you're just thinking bad thoughts.
I couldn't imagine
I'm
how high he
here.
got.
I'm here in a line in Philadelphia waiting to get a cheesesteak, and I'm looking at my phone, and it's 14-0, right? And I'm thinking to myself, geez, like, am I really going to have to be that person, that fan, and look at the phone, put it down, look at the phone, put it down, because I don't want to look up and see 28-0. But,
Right.
man, Kyle Trask went out there. That offense came out there in the second possession and got rolling, man. And those are the things that I feel like need to be taken away from this game, that no matter how bad it looked in the beginning, the adversity, and still the poise to be able to go out there and put points on the board on a consistent basis, man. Touchdown after touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. Even though that pick six also got me a little bit irate, I felt like Baby Hendo, he stopped running his route.
Right.
Those are the type of
I
freshmen.
agree.
Those are the type of freshman mistakes that I wish that wouldn't occur. But you understand it, right? So it's a big game. You need those type of guys to make plays. But Henderson has to finish his route. That's the only way that the Georgia cornerback was able to step up to create the pick six, right? So those are things those are just baby steps that he'll learn and whatnot. But man, huge plays by the tight end and by the tight ends overall. And what is there else to say about Kyle Pitts, man? Kyle Pitts is man amongst boys. You put him one-on-one, no matter who it is, he's going to make plays. He is questionable though against Arkansas. Listen, if he's not 100%, huh?
Felipe Franks.
Yeah, it's true. But just a quick thing though, Pitts is not 100% against Arkansas. Listen, if you can find other ways to feed the football, I mean, if you look at the box score right now,
They did.
You had Pierce rushing for 15 carries for 52 yards, which led the team, and also you had Malik Davis,
5 for 100
5 for 100 yards. I mean, that right there is spreading it out. If that's not spreading out the football, I really don't know what is.
Right, 3 for 71.
Right, freaking Carroll.
And it was one of those games where you didn't have to have Kadarius Toney do a lot like he did last week.
No,
even with the 7 receptions and 42 yards.
No, but once again, when he's in special teams, Kyle, it gets me nervous, man. It's just there's something about him that he's not going to want to fair catch it. I feel like Mullen has to scream from the sidelines, fair catch, in order for him to not to do anything with it. But overall, listen, it was a great win. Great to beat Georgia, man. It's been a minute. I'm not going to lie. But now you look at the rest of the schedule, there's nothing more that you could possibly say that's in the way except yourself, right? I mean, listen, Arkansas is well coached, but I just saw today that their coach, Sam Pittman, he got positive for COVID. So he probably won't make the trip. I don't know what other Arkansas staff member or players have tested positive for COVID. Listen, all well wishes to Sam, and I hope, whatever, if he's positive or not, that gets resolved. Listen, if there's any fan base that knows about COVID-19, it's Florida, right? You're off for 2 weeks after losing a tough-ass game. You got to wait 2 weeks to come back, right? So, listen, Arkansas is well coached. We know they're going to play 60 minutes. Felipe Franks is going to be stoked to come back into the swamp. Nighttime game. We're on ESPN. We're not on SEC alternative, right? Or alternative, whatever that crap is called.
Right.
ESPN, 7 p.m. at the swamp. We have to be ready.
Yeah, I think it's funny because when we look at the schedule, it's kind of like we were talking about yesterday with the Dolphins. You have we kept saying 2 weeks ago, last week, or even yesterday, how it was always you got 5 games coming up, 5 games that you should easily have a chance at winning. But for the Dolphins, it's a little bit different, everything like that. These 5 games, Arkansas, Vandy, Kentucky, Tennessee, and then LSU. I mean, these are all not only this is college football that you can't have any mistakes. These are all games that you should beat your opponent. Well coached or not, whatever the situation, you should beat all 5 of these teams and put yourself in a position to potentially, be in that top 4.
Yeah, well, listen, despite how, not saying that these other matchups are easy, but listen, Missouri was on a roll when we faced them 2 weeks ago, and we were somehow able to lower the storm and whatever. And after 2 weeks of not playing ball, we actually beat their ass, which is the best thing that I've
Yeah,
seen. And we all know what happened, right, with the whole Dan Mullen and halftime thing. But then you come out and beat your rival Georgia. This sets you up now to have consecutive weeks against Arkansas, Vanderbilt. What is it? Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and then you
and then
face
Tennessee and
and
LSU.
then you go to Tennessee, which is considered one of your top rivals, followed by LSU. So the whole point is that now you got to be able to play consistent ball, right? You don't have any more weeks off. Your bye weeks already occurred. Okay. Dan Mullen now needs to figure out a way to get his offense rolling, whether if it's running the football on a consistent basis or throwing it. If the defense is going to stop the run, I understand if you're going to throw 50 times. If the defense is going to stack up the box, but also play they're also going to play two-man cover, covering Pitts, doubling. Listen, this is when Baby Henderson and Grimes and these running backs are going to have to step up, and that's what I want to see: more consistent offensive plays. And listen, let Kyle Trask be Kyle Trask, man. It's like I said, that pick six wasn't his fault. The receiver didn't run the route fully. That's going to happen. But
Yep.
against these next couple opponents, man, listen, like I said, if it's 10-10 heading into the fourth quarter, that wouldn't surprise me. It's the way that we play to our opponent's level, right? I mean, against Texas A&M, we're going to play like this, and then we have to see how the team reacts in the fourth quarter. Against, Missouri, it took us a little bit of time to get rolling, but then we finally found it. And of course, Georgia, listen, on Saturday, we're going to see a lot what this Florida team's made of, because you go in there, you beat Georgia. It's a huge hype. The crowd was going crazy for us. The energy was there. What type of practice mentality do you come for this week? Is it that you want to be able to be consistent, or are you satisfied with what you did on Saturday and you're like, well, it's Arkansas, right? I mean, it's Arkansas, bro. Like, get out of here. Who the hell wants to, look at film for 3 hours against Arkansas? Man, Arkansas is well coached. And I know these coaches are going to be, telling their whatever position is on the team. Listen, Arkansas might not have 4 or 5 stars like you guys, but they're going to come in here and play 60 minutes. Are you going to give me 60 minutes? Are you going to give me 200%? Not 300% that you gave us against Georgia. What about tomorrow? What about today? What are you going to do for yourself and for your football team and your teammates today? Are you going to show up and play 60? Or are you going to want to play 30 here and 30 there? Because I'm sorry, showing 30 here and 30 there is not going to cut it. I don't care if we go undefeated all the way to, Atlanta against Bama. I mean, Bama is going to be Bama. I expect Bama to be there. And, you're going to have to play better than you did against Georgia if you want to beat Alabama. That's just my take. But maybe I'm setting the bar too high because of this. But listen, it's there. It's there for us to take. There's no other team that can beat us the way that Texas A&M did, unless we beat ourselves and we're very undisciplined on defense. That's the way I see it.
And with that, I think that we can kind of wrap it up. I mean, we'll have our pregame to Arkansas on Saturday. And then, of course, we'll have the post game after. It's another night, another nice little night game. I think just to finish everything off, it's just nice to feel the sense of a Gators win that was important and that was a statement. And that's really nice to see, because we haven't had one of those games in quite some time. So is there anything you want to kind of round off and send us out with, Manny?
Give me 1 second, man, because there's something crazy going on in Kane's world. And the Kane's chat that we have for 5 reasons is blowing up, and I love the whole the whole issues right now. I don't know what's going on. There's like kids decommitting. There's a parent that went on. I'm sorry, this is just college football, right? Unbelievable. No. I mean, I fully expect us to win the game on Saturday night, man, and get ready for Vanderbilt. It's a noon kick in 2 weeks from now. But go out there, play your ball. Pitts is questionable with a concussion. Listen, if he can't go, there's other guys that need to step up. Listen, it's Arkansas, man. I'm not trying to pedal down to the metal and say that they can't play football, but it's Arkansas, man. You should be able to go out there, score at least 30 plus. Defense should be able to at least, maybe 2 out of 10 on third down, maybe 5 for 10 if anything. You know what Felipe Franks is all about. Okay, he was on the program the last 2-3 years. If anybody knows more about Felipe Franks, it'll be Todd Grantham, right? Because you basically coached against him for the whole 2 seasons at practice. So there shouldn't be any excuses. But I'm definitely looking forward to that front line of ours on defense, man, with Cox and Campbell to go out there and once again just dominate the defensive line without question.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Swamp Chats. Of course, like I said, we'll have pregame for Arkansas on Saturday, and then we'll have post after the game, unless anything goes wrong. Of course, there was a hurricane that came through this weekend, and a couple other things that I had to do. Manny's traveling. Life is life. But hopefully, that's what we'll have, and that's what's slated out there. So make sure you guys check that out. We also have the UCL show, which is I think it's 5 random football guys, as what I believe it's.
By random football guys, we should have a show on Wednesday night.
I thought on Thursday.
Especially with Inter Miami FC making the playoffs, that was great. We were all wrong. Shout out to Austin. I think he was the only one that believed.
Right.
Wow. First match, man. First playoff match in history. 2 weeks from now against Nashville. That should be definitely fun.
Yeah, we'll have that. We'll talk about the national teams that are playing, and then of course, Canes have their stuff that's going on. Then of course, you have Dolphin stuff as well next Sunday. So thank you guys so much for listening and watching along, and we will see you guys on Saturday for pregame.